Thank you everyone so much for joining. This is the beginning of the nonprofit grant pool info session. So thank you. We have a really exciting topic to discuss, which is our $225,000 grant pool for nonprofits located in the West Side. So first on the agenda, I'll just quickly introduce myself. I'm Rachel Wilson. I am the Economic Vitality Program Manager for Westside United, and we will give a little more of a longer overview of Westside United after we have our host partners come and give a little background about what they do. So our host for today is ESDC Pilsen, and we're in this wonderful mural park space. So thank you so much to them for coming. And would anyone from ESDC like to come introduce your organization? Yes, just a couple words is fine, or many words is also fine.
Hello, everyone. My name is Joseph De La Garza, and I'm with Economic Strategies Development Corporation. So we're partnering with the West Side to help them with this, not only with this grant, but we also have other programming to help small businesses with growing your business. There's other grants that are available besides this that we could also help you with in addition to this one, and there's also loan programs, whether it's the Small Business Administration loans, lines of credit. So we provide all this free of charge. We receive a grant ourselves to provide these services. So my business card is on the table. If you've signed in, we can feel free to reach out to us as far as if you need help with any of that. We have other programming available for small business owners. Thank you.
All right. So thank you so much for that introduction. And just a little bit of a background about Westside United as an organization. We began in 2018 as a collaborative of 6 hospitals located on the West Side that saw a health disparity, specifically a life expectancy gap between the Loop and the West Side. And so as hospitals, they got together and talked with community members to see how can we actually address this life expectancy gap. You know, we can't solve all the problems just by having someone come and be treated for a disease. We have to look at what is actually the cause of these health inequities. So the hospitals got together and with the community input decided to focus on 4 specific areas where they as hospitals with their massive investment power and influence in the community could actually address some of these underlying root causes of health inequality in the West Side. So those 4 were economic vitality, which is my wheelhouse. We also have health and healthcare initiatives, we have education initiatives, and then we have initiatives that are surrounding the built environment and neighborhood where people grow up. So we know that all of those factors actually influence someone's life expectancy, what opportunities you have growing up, for healthy food, for economic development, for education. So the hospitals are really working with Westside United and with the 10 communities that are part of the Westside United collaborative to address not only diseases, not only when people come into the hospital with a problem, but let's actually look at the causes of these issues, which is inequality and lack of access to resources, historical and current disinvestment, white supremacy and racism. So those are all of the things that drive us as an organization to address. So with that, I will give it out to Aisha.
Good evening, everyone. How are you? Great. My name is Aisha Jaco, and I have the privilege of serving as Executive Director for Westside United. Rachel gave you a high-level overview of who we are and why we do what we do. This work is very important to me personally because I am a Westside native. I lived on the West Side for over 20 years, primarily in East Garfield Park. And it was interesting being an 80s baby and inheriting this community that was never rebuilt after the 1968 riots. And so that had an impact on the industry in these communities that were vibrant, because you had Sears and other businesses that were rooted and connected to the economic vitality of these areas. You had a shift in population. My family came through the Great Migration to the North Lawndale area from the Mississippi Delta. And so with that, they inherited a new system of challenges that were never solved upon their arrival. So Westside United is an effort by the hospital industry to correct some of the historical wrongs that they have aided over the last 50 years. So it's very impressive, it's very audacious for hospitals to say, we are going to do a better job about serving communities in our backyard beyond access to care. We have internships collectively. Out of our internships with education across 6 institutions, how many Westside youth are we bringing in our doors every summer and throughout the school year? For the first time in the history of our 6 partners, Amita Health, Lurie Children's, Cook County Health, Sinai, UI Health, Rush University Medical Center, they began to share data. They began to break down barriers of historical trust because they're competitors, right? They're going for the same population, but there was an agreement to come around the table and share data to leverage resources. If hospitals, our partners, were combined, they would be the #1 employer in the state of Illinois. When we talk about spending power, the collective spending power, it's about $4 billion. When we talk about what's allocated out to business just to feed medical students, it's $500,000 for pizza in 1 year. So we began to ask questions about what would happen if we reallocated those dollars to Westside businesses so that a catering company, a mom and pop shop could get some of those dollars. What would happen if we looked at who we are spending dollars with from a vendor perspective for procurement, if we set a goal to reallocate those dollars to small vendors on the West Side? So our current spend was $30 million with Westside businesses, or I should say in 2018. In 2019, we made a goal to increase that to $37 million. When we looked at our hiring, because that was important too, right? We're the #1 employer, so how many Westside residents are we hiring? How many are we retaining after 90 days? We looked at those numbers and made a goal, a collective goal this year, to hire 3,500 Westside residents by 2021. We looked at our ability to invest on the West Side, and we put our money in an investment pool, allocating $2.5 million to be reinvested through community development financial institutions. So we began to date, allocate $1.7 million to affordable housing projects on the West Side, to education, to capital improvements for nonprofits. And this is all in the spirit of people looking in their toolkit to see what they have to leverage and do a better job. And when I say people, I'm talking about an industry rooted on the West Side of Chicago, delivering on what it is that they know that they can do. With that, you have to have community. We have to look at the ecosystem of programs that are already on the ground doing the work, but that need an extra push. And so one of the first things that we did after talking to the community when we landed on why this life expectancy gap was there was we hit the streets to talk to folks to make sure that what we found resonated with the community, to make sure that we had the pulse of the community. So this life expectancy gap is because of not just access to care, but it's the neighborhood. We know that if we get on the blue line, green line, and head west from downtown, you can feel the difference in the quality of grocery stores, the schools, the corridors where you shop and eat. So with that, community told us 4 things after a series of listening sessions, 4 basic human needs that anyone from any economic status would want was rooted in safe neighborhoods, equitable education and meaningful activities for young people, jobs, and access to care. So when we launched in 2018, we had a group of stakeholders, maybe 250 people. We came to Malcolm X College to launch our initiatives and what we set out to do. We also heard in listening sessions, in my community, the biggest mental health provider is the Cook County Jail. In my community, people aren't coming to these institutions because they don't feel safe. They're undocumented, or they have other things that keep them outside of the doors. They can't afford care, or if they go to the places that they can afford, it's not the same quality. So we began to think about how we could quickly react to that and make an impact. So our first round of nonprofit grants were under our health and healthcare domain. We released an RFP in 2018 for $125,000 for expansion of community health workers. That went to Enlace, based in South Lawndale, and they were committed to enrolling 1,500 residents into healthcare, having touch points with 3,000 residents with different outreach, and hiring 10 additional community health workers. We also released an RFP for the same amount for the co-location of mental and behavioral health services. We awarded that to 3 different community organizations that split that amount up. One was Esperanza Health. They were working at a school, Hammond Elementary in Little Village, where there was no social worker or no therapist. So they were coming once a week, and with our money, they were able to increase the frequency of the services that they offered and serve more youth. We funded Access Health, who wanted to expand a model for highly acute mental patients that they had implemented in back of the yards here on the west side, and then we worked with Community Health, which is one of the largest free clinics in the city of Chicago that has a very large undocumented population. They wanted to look at how they could expand their services to residents that could not access them. So in our first round of nonprofit grants, it was about building capacity, working with people who know their communities, know the needs, who resonate with what we want to do, and giving them resources to do that. For this cycle, we are looking at how to do the same thing. So we have an application that went live last Monday, and it closes on October 18th. And it's about 25 questions. And if you look at it, we're asking for some general demographic information. So I'm on the second page of or the third page of the packet. We're asking if you're a 501c3 operating on the west side of Chicago, then general contact information about your 501c3. What is your nonprofit background information? How many years has your agency been in operation? We want a 200-word explanation summarizing your organization's history and mission, your 2018 financial statements, an annual budget, and then for optional purposes, the population that your nonprofit serves. And then we ask for more detailed information about your program history. If you were getting a grant or requesting a grant up to $40,000, what would you use the funding for? Being specific about how you're going to use those dollars. And then we ask you across our programs how you're going to feed in. So I mentioned our 4 domains under health and healthcare. We had our co-location grant. We had our community health workers grant. We're working on an initiative called Live Healthy West Side, where we're looking at hypertension management and maternal child health, like bridging disparities there. For education, we're thinking about how we expand our internship programs. We're thinking about how to build or support a community hub. When we talk about neighborhood and physical environment, we have done a lot of research around nutrition education. We want to fund nutrition education programs in schools. If you're a mobile market and you want support on providing produce on the west side or a community garden, that's an opportunity. We talked a little bit about our economic vitality work where we have small business grants. We're doing some impact investing. We're looking at local hiring across the west side. So for nonprofit grants, we're looking for synergy across neighborhood and physical environment, education, if you have programs there, and then if you have things that are out of the scope of that, but that are truly rooted in empowering the West Side and the health of West Side residents, youth, et cetera, there is flexibility. So I'll turn it over to Rachel to speak more specifically to our metrics, and then we'll open it up for Q&A where we can drill down a little bit and hear from you with any questions you have. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Aisha. Yeah, so that was a really great overview of the thought process behind the grant, the questions, and something that is really, that really struck me about before I even started working with Westside United, is how these grants are not prescriptive. We're not saying we want you to do X, Y, Z. Instead, we want you to tell us what you're doing and how that has a positive impact on the community. So that's something that is really exciting to me. And it sounds like just from the sign-ins on Eventbrite, we have a lot of exciting organizations here. So before the question and answer, I'm going to ask that just we get a quick introduction, name, and the organization that you work for. But before that, let's go over some of the frequently asked questions, just so we can all be on the same page about like the specific aspects of the application process. So it's on the back page. So where can you learn more about Westside United? Our website is a great place to start. We also have an email address where you can send any questions our way. It's info@westsideunited.org, and that email address is also in the packet. The deadline, as Aisha has said, is the 18th of October, and that's a little bit earlier than our for-profit grant deadline, which is the 31st, so I just really want to reiterate that so there's no confusion. And the reason behind that is because we want to have some visits with the top grant applicants that we're considering, just to get to know their organization more and to be in their space, have them be able to introduce to us what they do. The funds are provided by an anonymous philanthropist, and you can learn more about the proposal. There is one more nonprofit info session, which is on the flyer at the front. It will be on the 30th, located at the Self-Help Credit Union, and it's hosted by the Little Village Chamber of Commerce. So if you know someone who wasn't able to attend today, they'll be able to attend that one. So as far as what the grant funds can be used for, that's a question that we've gotten a lot. So they can be used for any expansion of any existing program. We're going to be more interested in funding work that's already going on rather than new ideas. And it will also be, you can use it for any type of operating, technical, overhead costs of your nonprofit. We just ask that you describe in the narrative exactly how the funds will be used. And so an organization can only submit one application, but you can partner with other applicants. And then the last question, or the second to last question is, are Community Advisory Council members eligible to apply? So some of you may not be familiar with Westside United's Community Advisory Council. It is a wonderful group of citizens, business owners, religious leaders, any type of position you can think of residents that work and live and celebrate the West Side, who have come on to advise the Westside United as an organization about what are the community needs, what should we be focusing on. And so if you are a Community Advisory Council member, yes, your organization is eligible to apply. We just are going to ask that you recuse yourself from the decision-making process. And then finally, there is, just so we can get a better idea of exactly the programs and the needs that your nonprofit addresses and serves in your particular community, there is a question, number 11, where you're asked to describe a community need, describe the program that addresses that, and also describe any accomplishments to date or the impact. And I believe we're asking for up to 3 major programs, just so we can get a better idea of your impact as an organization. So we are looking for 501c3 organizations for this grant. So we would encourage 501c3s, and we are asking that you are located in or serve one of the 10 communities that are part of the Westside United collaborative. So those are just some of the frequently asked questions, but we know that you guys will have questions we've never heard before, which is great. But before we do that, can we go around the room and just have everyone stand up really quickly, tell us your name and the organization that you work with. And I know, sadly, that won't be able to be heard, but I can repeat it, actually. So, yes.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Kim Wright. I represent Young Master Builders in Motion, where I'm the founder. We serve teen girls and young adult women who are orphans, adoptees, and foster youth alumni. We do holistic mentoring, food preparation, nutrition, education, and we're actually rolling out our sexual education curriculum this fall. I grew up in foster care. I was an orphan, and I found out very hard how much not understanding how your body works, whether it's taking care of yourself or getting pregnant before you understand what getting pregnant means. So we're working with about 40 professionals who are in the healthcare field. We're working with a lot of professionals who are making sure that we get the information out, it's evidence-based, and we love God and we love His people. So we're interfaith. It doesn't matter where people come from. We know that it's our purpose to make sure we serve.
Hello, how you guys doing today? My name is Shavar Sims. I'm with the organization called Power Plant. We actually are a juice company, just teaching kids and the youth in the community how to, provide holistic options for, health and wellness, and we're focusing on health and wellness within my community. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Lucy Clements, manager of grants for Children's Home and Aid. We provide mental health services on the West Side.
Hi, my name is Joseph Montgomery. I work for an organization called Youth Communications, and we basically deal in education, but we also do historical tours throughout the Pilsen community. We're located on 18th and Ashland.
Hello, my name is Athena Williams. I'm the Associate Director for Oak Park Regional Housing Center. We provide rental and home ownership counseling and education.
I guess I'll speak. My name is Marquisha Ward Crockett. I actually don't have an organization. I came because I was told that there could be startups. I'll try to make it to the business one, actually, not the nonprofit, but I also have two ideas. So my nonprofit idea is basically it will be called Baby Ace Kids. It's a community center for kids where they can learn how to work technology as far as cameras, recording music, making music, other things besides just rapping. They can actually learn technology, which can get them into other bigger fields. So that's my idea.
Hi everyone, my name is Ryan Maya. I work at La Casa Norte, which basically provides shelter services and emergency food services over by Humboldt Park. Thanks.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Dominique Bryant, and the name of my organization is called Dream Academy Foundation. And we provide mentorship, and anybody know what STEM is? Okay, or STEAM now, because they added the A, and that's what we do for the urban youth. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Melissa. I'm actually here on behalf of an organization where I volunteer called One Tail at a Time, an animal rescue organization. They are focused on helping under-resourced animal shelters and providing resources for pet owners. Just entered into a capital campaign, launching a bunch of different projects, including a mobile adoption truck that is hoping to move into neighborhoods that don't have access to animal rescue. For one thing, opening their own vet clinic. So just kind of came to check this out and see if it might be a fit for the work that they're doing.
My name is Chris Pope, and I do some fundraising for St. Agatha Catholic Church, which is in North Lawndale. And they do a lot of restorative justice work in the schools and the jail and the juvenile detention center, and have a technology center where they're teaching technology and journalism to kids and adults.
Hi, my name is Vanessa Ford. I'm with the Academy of Scholastic Achievement, better known as ASA. We're in Austin. We're a school for retrieved high school dropouts. We get them in, get them graduated, so we get on with their lives, and we try to get them some certifications so they can start careers.
Hello, I'm Kathy Lesmeister. I'm with St. Leonard's. We provide holistic services for people who are exiting prison. We're located in the West Side, and most of our residents originally grew up and came from the West Side as well.
Hi, I'm Erin Malcolm with Erie Neighborhood House. We have locations in Westtown and Little Village, and we are a community-based social service agency with 15 different programs that provide services for youth and their families and communities through the lifespan.
Hi, I'm Rather Stanton. I'm one of the founders of Legal Prep Charter Academy. We're in West Garfield Park serving about 330 high school students, but in addition to that, we also have robust offerings of mentoring programs, legal clinic, parent and community engagement programs to really provide a holistic services to all the families that we serve there in West Garfield Park.
Good afternoon. My name is Ruben Feliciano, and I am with Rincon Family Services. We are an organization that was started in 1972, one of a kind at the moment, where we served community groups got together, community residents got together to address the issue of substance use in the Latino community. Since then, we've grown to cover all these other supportive services, and beyond treating the individual, we realized that we needed to treat the entire family unit. So besides the substance use treatment now, we offer supportive housing, case management, and a whole array of supportive services to empower families in our communities. We're mostly in Humboldt Park, Beaumont Cragen, and those are two of the community areas that we're in. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Ann Colley. I'm with Arts of Life. We are a nonprofit art collective supporting adult artists with intellectual and developmental disabilities. And we're centered on using a collective decision-making model to treat everyone as equals and support their creative practices and professional development.
Hi, my name is Terry Miller. I'm with Beyond Hunger. We are ending hunger in the west side of Chicago and the surrounding suburbs, mostly in the Austin and Humboldt Park neighborhood. We serve about 38,000 individuals every year. Our marquee program is a food pantry that we operate in Oak Park. We also have nutrition education programming, summer meals programming. We have home delivery for senior citizens and disabled adults that can't make it out to the food pantry. We also have a benefits coordinator that helps get folks connected to other services to help them find more permanent food security.
Sorry about that. Good evening. My name is Deonde Brown Whitfield. I'm actually working with Austin Town Hall Cultural Park. We also partner with the library in Austin High School. My husband and I created a program called Bridging the Gap through the Arts, Sciences, Engineering, and Technology. I'm a retired nurse and educational consultant. He is an engineer as well as technology expert. So we work together to have programs at the Austin Branch Library when there was no funding for the STEM programs. We provided it going all the way back to when we went to Flint, Michigan and took water back and forth for months until people started helping them out. And we went all the way down to the molecule of water and the young people that came to the programs at the library. We educated them, gave them materials, and made it fun. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Zarima. I work with First Defense Legal Aid, and we're working on new programs right now since our main program was providing free legal aid to those arrested in the city of Chicago, but we successfully was able to transfer that over to the public defenders. So our new program is pre-arrest diversion, so focusing on providing resources to the community that is a replicable alternative to police in order to avoid police violence and avoid police in situations that is not needed.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Melody Brown. I'm here representing two organizations. The first one is the Corey Williams Art Foundation, which is located at 345 Art Gallery on Kedzie on the west side of Chicago, where there is high-quality arts program for youth, as well as supporting artists to help them achieve their vision by providing professional development, art therapy, as well as resources to assist them with funding projects. The second organization I'm here representing is Moving Our Youth Ahead, where we're focusing on college and career readiness for high school students and young adults to assist them with planning their path for their careers and their future. We know that the high schools can't do it all, and so there are organizations that are out there that need to support these individuals to provide them with access to college and career readiness, either through scholarship assistance, through, when I say scholarship assistance, I'm talking about helping them write essays to complete scholarship applications, to college tours, college visits, and also helping them map out their plan to find a best fit college for them.
Hi, I'm Sue Vogel. I'm with UCAN. We're a 150-year-old organization. Mostly started with as an orphanage, is now doing foster care, transitioning, teen transitioning, parenting teens, violence intervention and prevention. Just a quick summary. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Adrienne Lang. I'm with Latinos Progresando. We specialize in immigration legal services, a full spectrum of immigration legal services, and convene a group of 40 other organizations on the east side of Little Village called the Marshall Square Resource Network. Thanks.
Hi, my name is Mary Ann Bolton, and I'm here representing a couple of organizations. But what we primarily do is work with the parent advisory councils at CPS, and we do workshops and trainings and events around trauma, engaging the parents and informing them and how their drama can cause trauma and the effect that it has on the child within their school.
All right, if you don't have any other questions, we'd like to thank you for spending time with us this evening. Please email us if you have questions. If anything pops in your mind, please take something with you to drink or to nibble on, and have a great evening. We will be in touch.